And we are live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. What's up, Stu?
Hey, Jim, and
You need,
everybody.
you need to move your microphone out a little bit because every time you breathe out your nose, it sounds like a dirty phone call. Now, I mean,
Okay.
that's fine, but I know you charge extra for that. So I don't want to get one of them big bills again like last month.
Thank you.
So, anyway,
Yeah, about 1-900 numbers.
yeah, remember those? So there you go. That was a trap, by the way. If you'd have said yes, I would have said, "Oh, you used to call 900 numbers a lot. You. That was good. It's best not to even answer something like that.
Well, I brought it up, so obviously I know about them.
That is true. I actually bought 5 900 numbers at a. This is I learned a valuable lesson about maxing out your credit card at an opportunity seminar. So I went to opportunity seminar, watched a presentation all about um, 900 numbers, bought a block of 5 of them, and then never used them. And that was $600 on my credit card back in 1991 when I didn't have an extra $600.
You still have them?
No, no,
I was wondering, like, what do you do with them?
no. It was a giant. Anyway.
Yeah.
So what's up, Vicky? Welcome, 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 welcome. So what interesting has happened to you in the last week? I took a trip, and that was interesting. I hate driving up 95. What's up, April?
Yeah, not the best.
April's not, but I had the opportunity last week to be able to spend a couple days with my parents. I had not seen them in 2 years. I had
Oh,
not
dang.
physically been with them in 2 years because they live in one of those cemetery villages. And the reason we call it that is because there's a big one down in Florida called Century Village. And so my uncle Tom called it Cemetery Village. And he had all kinds of mean things. He called, when he would talk about driving skills of certain people, and then he called them cotton tops. So my Uncle Tommy's a terrible, evil person. Should never listen to him.
That's
Anyway,
funny.
so it was interesting to go up there to and be with them. It's funny. You talk about people being in quarantine, and a lot of us probably have heard on the news that mental health and stuff during the pandemic. I think all of us, it took a toll mentally, but for those of us that work at home, it was not nearly as bad as for people who are used to going out and being super social. And it was really hard on my mom because of not being able to go to church, and she was going to, I mean, she's like uber Catholic, so she goes to church every single day, and has for years, and she's on all the committees, and she's got all her little church buddies, and they go do their, they go to mass, and then they go out for lunch. And she had a pretty good gig going, and all that stopped, and then they also moved. And so not just her, because she's pretty resilient. It was funny, we were walking through the hallways. I mean, this place is gigantic. They got 2,000 people living in this, and
Wow.
it's it's like a giant senior habit trail, because they got all these buildings, and then they're linked with these skywalks everywhere. And
Dang.
so you can walk there. I met a lady in the hallway that walks 5 miles every day without going outside. She just hits everything. And met another lady in the hallway who, this other lady was like, was about this big around. It was like you could smell the smoke coming from her feet. She was moving so fast. And then you got the other folks with the walkers that look like, it looked like an old school walker and a bicycle and a radio flyer and a sled all had a baby together out by the dumpster. I mean, and that should have those Charlton Heston. Remember that movie with the chariot race in it, and they had those things sticking out, the spinning knives that would
Oh,
take
yeah.
out the other. I mean, you expect somebody to hit a button and those pop out on one of these walkers, but I mean, they got walkers with wheels this big, and I was talking to them. But the one thing that all of those had in common was I was walking with my mom, and my mom knew everybody in the freaking hall. There you go, April. Thanks, Ben Hur. My mom knew everybody in the hallways. Oh, hey, Pat. They're like, hey, Pat. Hey, Mrs. Everybody at all the restaurants knows my mom. She was walking me around, showing me the place, and the restaurant manager's like, oh, Mrs. Edwards, I'm so sorry. We just closed. But if you need me to, I will reopen the kitchen just for you. And she's like, no, we're just looking. I'm just showing my son around. And so I'm meeting, like, even the dishwashers know my mom by name and stuff. And she takes some cookies around. And my point is that even though she was locked down, she found a way to be social, a way to give, a way to help, a way to, reach out to people. And I think chances are my gut's telling me that there's something's coming as far as another lockdown this winter. I'm just saying, but don't let it put you into a funk. Find a way to be social. It's hard. It's like Stu says, you never think about quitting if you're thinking about winning. If you're totally focused on competing and winning, you'll never think about quitting. And it's hard to be depressed if you're thinking about how to make other people happy and feel better. Is the point of that whole thing.
Nice.
And so, but also remember that if you see somebody being nice to everybody, give them some grace too, because it might be that they need somebody to give them an attaboy. And we're all kind of in this together.
I like it.
So that's important to understand. So that was a roundabout way of telling a story that
it's a good news story. I think.
So
we all need good news.
So I made the commitment to them that I would go up there and see them every 3 months, find a way to get up there, especially since now they've relaxed everything.
That's good.
So yeah, it was cool. So, and we did a bunch of stuff for them. Mom, it's funny, things you take for granted, then other people needing help. We hung a bunch of pictures for her. My buddy Dexter went with me, and so that was good for them to see other people, but we helped them reorganize things, get everything done. So helping something that might not seem like a big deal to you might seem like a big deal to somebody else. So that was good.
Yeah.
So what'd you do in the last week since I saw you?
Well, coming up with new ideas, Jim. You know me.
About
what we're going to talk about in the podcast today, some content marketing ideas.
Oh, okay.
But you know how I'm always playing around with the testimonial on payday?
Yes.
So I just started doing them, like, in case everybody's payday's on a Friday or the 1st and the 15th, and just realized that I needed some, instead of just pumping out testimonials all the time, what I decided to do, and I'm still doing that, but I started making the post, then linking it to an article in some fashion. Right. So I was talking about, this week I wrote an article about, are you a master at skipping workouts?
Okay.
Right. And, about creating habits, and, sometimes you got to drop a bad habit and replace it with a good habit and things like that, to reach your goal. And I was able to put in a really cool testimonial of this guy that lost 40 pounds, but not only lost 40 pounds, but he got into SEAL candidate shape at the same time. Took him over a year to do it. But, I turned it around to say, hey, this is, like this guy, check this out. Do you think he needed to create new habits? Do you think he ever felt like quitting? Right. And there's all these, like, we all do, right? So it was just one of those things that I kind of turned a payday testimonial into an article, and then it's easier to share it that way.
So let me ask you a question. Was
Yes.
the testimonial in the article or was the testimonial somewhere else?
Both.
Okay. So was the testimonial at the beginning or the end of the article?
Right in the middle.
Okay. So that's smart. So, okay. So
You want to see it?
No, I'm going to draw it out because I paid all the money for this thing. We got to use this board,
Oh,
Stu,
okay,
and then we'll show it to you at the end. Okay.
Okay.
So you got the article with the testimonial in it. Where else was the testimonial? Was it up on Facebook?
Yep. Facebook, Instagram,
Okay.
Twitter.
And the testimonial was basically just a screenshot of what the guy sent you, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the testimonial was, you put that on Facebook, you put that on Instagram, you put that on Twitter. Okay. So now, did you link from the article to Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, or what was on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter? The actual just testimonial itself?
Just a picture of the testimonial and just a little piece of the article.
Okay. So you had a snippet from the article, and then it linked over to the article from each one of these. Am I hearing you right?
Yes.
So, okay, so you took one article, but you advertised it or you promoted it 3 different places.
Yep.
And also, since this worked, it should go in your weekly newsletter. It should go up on your blog. So there's, can go in the newsletter, can go on the blog, more places to send people. Where was this article posted? On your blog?
Yeah, on my blog.
Okay. All right. So smart. So you took one piece of content and you basically advertised it 3, 4, 5 different places and drove traffic to it. You drove traffic with the testimonial, and then you had content that incorporated the testimonial. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened?
Just your standard, what I call the payday payday bump.
Okay. Okay. So payday, for those of you who don't know, is on the 1st and the 15th.
Right. Some people get payday like every other Friday or something.
Right. But your audience is in the military or wants to be in the military and at least understands the 1st and the 15th cycle.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yes. I mean, okay. I mean, I'm not.
It is. But like all my guys are not in the military yet, so they're not on that pay schedule yet. So that's why I've been trying to be a little more liberal with it and putting it out, and just instead of just the 1st and the 15th, it's like every Friday.
Okay. Every Friday you could do this.
Yes.
Okay. Or every Friday. It's called knowing your audience.
Yes.
Okay. To what degree would you say, and Maureen says payday cycle, interesting. Yeah, people can't pay if they ain't got any money. I need them to free up room on that maxed out credit card. Hey, it's the truth. All right, that's just how it is. So my question is, how did this work for you? It was a great testimonial, by the way. But would you say it was just kind of like, yep, worked exactly the way I thought it would, or man, this was even better than usual because of the use of the testimonial in the middle of the article? Was it better, same, different results than usual? Just trying to get a feel.
I've seen better days before, but I use this method all the time. So it's the only thing new is that I put the testimonial in the article. But I just haven't. It wasn't my best, but it was definitely a bump above average.
Okay.
So you can definitely see that it was working. It was just I've seen better.
So this makes me think of something that I need to try. And so we're gonna take a thing here real quick. Okay. When you curate content, and then I want you to show the thing. But I want to get this out of my head. Okay, you know how I am. You have basically, when you curate content, typically there's the content. And so the content can be a video, it can be text, it could be a picture, you know, whatever it is. And it could be somebody else's. Typically, when you talk about content curation, that's what you're doing. So when you sandwich content, you think of it like, okay, there's a piece of bread here, is an intro. You know, here's what I got, here's what it is, why I think it's cool for you. Then you have the content. And so the content is kind of like the meat and the cheese and whatever. This is starting to look like a lasagna. Okay. And then 2 more parts. You have the conclusion. Okay. What does this mean? What should you take away from this? And then you have the call to action. Now, if this is a video, then typically, if you're sharing a video, you're going to have text to intro, then you're going to have the video, then you're going to have your conclusion and your call to action. If it's text, it's just all the text and stuff. So content, I'll be honest with you, I'm having kind of a brain thing all of a sudden. I've never really thought of a testimonial as anything other than just a piece of content of just something that sits in and of itself. You use it in a certain place, like, hey, don't take my word for it, take a look at this, or hey, just got this testimonial, check it out. And we use them in our newsletter every single week. But I'll be honest with you, I never ever thought about using a testimonial as part of the content, like building an article or something around a testimonial. And I think that's brilliant. I gotta cook on that. So
well, think about it as you are telling the hero's journey of this testimonial.
Right. So
right, and that can be a lot of your content there.
Absolutely. So think about it in terms of the hero's journey. I like that. So now, can you share so we can kind of see what it looked like on your website?
Sure.
Okay. Put that puppy up there.
Let's see. Window, Chrome tab. There we go. So,
all right, it is up on the screen now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's up there now. I like that. Are you a master at skipping workouts?
You know, it was funny because one of my online clients goes, "Hey, Stu, I'm sorry, I've been haven't responded in a couple of months. I moved, I got a new job. You know, life got in the way basically, but I've become a master at skipping workouts." Just a comment he used. I'm like, "Oh, this is too good." So I created an article around that idea. So, you know, you get inspired by all types of things that are around you. But anyway, figured, you know, I always like throwing Kermit pictures in there, and we always have this good voice and this evil voice somewhere in the back of our head, and you know, not listening to the lazy voice is the key.
Right.
But basically, we just get good at what we do, you know, and even we get good at what we don't do. We get good at not working out. You can get good at not working out. So anyway, I just put this little article in here, you know, kind of giving some tips on that. Like take this example. Take, for example, this testimonial. You know, this young man wants to be a SEAL. He's first overweight. You know, got in good SEAL shape. You know, at the end of it, I said, just ask a simple question: was, do you think he had to overcome some bad habits and start some good habits in this journey? Absolutely. And, you know, that was just a picture. This same picture is the one I used, you know, in the social media posts as well. So.
And then how did you keep going with it?
I just said basically just finding something you want to do or achieve, or just, you know, is helpful and, training because you don't feel like it was just finished up the thing. And then I said, who is Stu Smith? I probably should have put a buy now thing right here. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do down here. I mean, there's a whole bunch of options down here, obviously.
But let me ask you this. What was the program that he used? Did he tell you, was there a specific thing he used? Because that's the thing that you offer right there.
Yeah. It's my Navy SEAL programs. It's the 3-part one right here. So I just need to.
So what you would say was here, and just stop scrolling like you get
sorry.
Inch. Okay. So wherever you think you should have the testimonial, you say, what's this kid's name?
I didn't put it in there, but it's Jack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you could use the Jack, then here are the exact resources from our website that Jack used. Because that's how you're going to transfer Jack's success to them. Because it's like everybody, if you think about when somebody, like, good example, Goat Ruck, everybody talks about selection, all that stuff. Like, what kind of boots did the guy wear? What kind of pants did he wear? It's like, which has nothing to do with the fact that the guy went through 48 hours of hell, but people need to key in on the thing. So it's like, oh, okay, well, if you wanna know the resources that Jack used, here they are. This is what Jack used, to just kind of at the end of the story. But that made me think, if we're thinking about content or sales copy or something like that, it's hook, story, example, offer. That's the thing that just popped into my head. It's hook, story, example, offer.
Oh, I love it.
So maybe let me write that on here so we don't lose it. But if we think about, and there's other stuff that you can do, but it's hook, story, example, offer. And this is another, example, proof, okay, is another way to look at that. If we go back to us, so, if we're breaking down the content, it could be the example, could be proof. The story could also be the testimonial, or it's your summation, it's background. You know what I mean? And then I love the hook that you had, but you could also find the hook within the story.
Oh yeah.
So it's, how one guy lost 40 pounds and got a Navy SEAL contract. So that's gonna grab the people who are overweight. You know what I mean?
Yep. I am. I know exactly what I'm going to do after this show's over. So I appreciate you breaking that down for me. I was wondering what was missing in it, and I was, as soon as I saw it up there, I was like, I know where this is going to go. But I think what I'll do now today is, once I fix this, is I'll post the article back on social media again, but in different ways, like as a Facebook Live or as a Instagram Live or story. Yeah, I'll do it as a story. That way the article link can link within it. And like a picture of the testimonial and the article link to it.
Yeah.
See how that works.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's tremendous. But then it's the offer is for the same tools that they use to get results. That's the key. So it all flows together.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
The other thing that you can do if you're thinking about how do I turn this into content, and I'm just gonna stop right here and tell everybody that's here. This is the kind of stuff that you get in a $25,000 a year mastermind. Okay, just letting you know. Just saying.
It's good stuff.
So the other thing, if you're looking for a way to really turn this into content, is to slide a tip in here. So what I mean is hook, story, telling the story, the background, all that stuff. let me give you a quick tip. Before we talk about the person that did this, let me give you a quick tip. So this is where you throw in the stuff about, getting the stuff, like for you, I would throw in, if it's not on the list, it doesn't exist. So here's a quick tip. If it's not on the list, it doesn't exist. If your workout is not on your appointment calendar every single day, you're not going to work out. If it's not a constant reminder every single day, then you're not going to get it done. So let me give you an example of someone who did that. And then you throw in that testimonial on that guy, telling his story and the results. So let me just give you an example and the results that he got.
Oh, love it.
Okay, that's the ultimate. That's like the ultimate segue. And then you have kind of a little summary here. Some sort of summary. I would summarize the big idea. That's what you do. Summarize the big idea. Okay, so hook, story, tip, example, proof, testimonial, results. Summarize the big idea and make the offer for the same tools that they use to get results. There you go. That's the formula.
Nice.
See, you didn't even have to buy this. You didn't even have to buy this board, Stu.
I didn't.
All right, cool. Well, there you go.
I love the hook, story, example, offer.
Here's a quick hook. Any of you who are authors, and if you are not in the Jim Edwards Method Premium, today at 11 o'clock, I am going to be teaching a masterclass on how to turn your book into a coaching program. So those of you who already have your own book, make sure you're on that. If you're not, it's not too late to join the Jim Edwards Method Premium. Head to thejimedwardsmethod.com. On the front page on the upper right, there is a link where you can join Premium. Oh, thank you, Susan. Susan just threw it in there. Okay, cool.
That
was good, Stu. I love that. I got to do that with the newsletter, man, because that's mint.
Thank you, sir.
Nice.
Well, anyway, that's what I did this week.
Nice. Well, good work, Stu. That's the one thing. Stu's always good for doing stuff. Okay. So, all right. You ready for the podcast?
Yes, I guess I should stop sharing. There we go.
That's okay. I wasn't showing it.
Oh, okay.
What are we talking about on the podcast? Does it tie in with this, or should I give us a blank screen?
It ties in a little bit. You did a good job kind of touching on both topics for the Jim and Stu show and the podcast. In fact, my question for you for the Jim and Stu show that we did not get to do is talking about, one, I say, if you don't know this, the avatar is your ideal customer. And do you know there are hot buttons and big desires? Kind of like what we talked about a little bit last week. And then, are you offering the solution for all their hot buttons and desires and objections?
Okay.
And the final question was, what was the most important thing as a business owner do we need to understand about our products and services? And how we're able to deliver on that need of the ideal customer.
Is that what we talked about last week, or that's what you want to talk about this week?
No, that was what we talked about. That was what we were going to talk about on the Jim and Stu show.
Oh, okay.
Which in a way you kind of did, just with my
sort of
with my testimonial. Because that is a very important part. This person felt obliged enough to email me and say, thank you so much. This is how I did. Right. So it's very important to that customer. So obviously, I
think we could even, talk about, if someone does that, you should have a follow-up. I'm just talking to myself. If I'm going to do that, then I should have some sort of a follow-up system where I could get a little bit more information from them to be able to create really good content from it. You know what I mean? Just like a four or five questions. So I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to take 5 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes, and I want to show you something cool that
Okay.
we've redone on the Wizard. So everybody who is here, this applies whether you're in, Jim Edwards Method Premium, funnel scripts, traffic secret scripts, 10-page pitch wizard, content marketing scripts, wherever. Okay, wherever wizards are sold. I'm going to show you something because I know it's hard to believe, but some people are not as have been giving us feedback on the mechanics of the Wizard as we, take this to the masses. And so we do pay attention to when people ask. And so we've redone the whole menu system for the Wizard and just launched it this morning. And I want to show you how it works because it's pretty cool. And so I'm going to share my screen, and these are going to end up as the interim quick starty videos and stuff. But so if you're using an avatar, if you're creating an avatar, whether you do it in Jim Edwards Method Premium or you do it in Funnel Scripts or Content Marketing, wherever, this is how these work now, which is pretty cool. So you'll see instead of having to scroll all the way down to the bottom to find the menu bar, you notice that the menu bar is right at the top and it follows you the whole way. So as you start filling stuff in, blah, 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 blah. As you fill stuff in and we say, okay, make sure you save, you can click over here on the menu and click save. We'll call this example. And so now you can keep filling this out as you go down, blah, blah, blah. And then you can just keep on, when it reminds you to save, you don't have to scroll all the way bottom to save, which is kind of cool. Wouldn't you agree, Stu?
I love it.
So now also some other neat things that this does. This is the avatar one. So we're gonna load an avatar, and we'll load the Busy Mom avatar. Now watch this. I've loaded the avatar and I click build. It's going to shoot me all the way down. So instead of having to scroll all the way down and stuff, it just, as soon as I hit build, it'll scroll me down, assuming the whole thing's filled out. Now let's say I want to change something, which is a big part of this. All right. So if I want to change busy working mom, I just want to change that to working mom. So now it shoots me back up the page. I can change that, and then I can click build, and it'll shoot me down back to the top of the output again. So there's no more of this up and down and up and down and up and down. It alleviates a lot of that. So we click get results, and that still works the same as before, depending on what the output is that's available. Now I want you to watch this right here. Watch this bar. When I hit, we can hit copy there. We don't have the clip bin's not a part of the avatar. So now I want you to watch something. I think I made a change. So watch when I hit the back button. It should ask me, hey, changes you made may not be saved. So instead of leaving, it actually reminds you, hey, you haven't saved this. So now we didn't have this in there before. So now it's got a reminder to save your project. And if you don't want to save your project, you don't have to. You can just click leave. Now, let me show you this. So this is a regular wizard. Okay. So notice the thing is still here. We can, if we click build and it's not all filled out, it says, whoa, 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 this isn't filled out. So, and it'll shoot you. So if I load a project, and let's say I've been going through and I skipped one or something like that, and I get down here to the bottom and I click build. It didn't do what I wanted it to. Well, there we go. It took it a second. I need to clear my thing, but it shoots you to the part that's not filled out. So that's a good thing. So once I fill this out, I click build, everything's filled out, fills it out down here. I can click that, it'll shoot me back up. I can make the changes. And then you can have the clip bin that works the same as always. Your menu is over here, so you won't see the import export on these. It's only for me because I have God mode. And then you have load, save as, and new project. So click new project and it blanks it out. So anyway, that's the new way that these work. So I'm not going to redo every how-to video that shows scrolling to the bottom. I'm just not going to do like 200 of those, but it should be pretty intuitive. Now, the neat thing is that what I wanted to show you was that with that example, somebody's like, oh, well, where's the get results? I loaded my project. I loaded my project. Where's the get results? How do I get my PowerPoint? How do I get all that stuff? Before you can get results, you got to click build. And then did you see how the get results button appeared? So now you can get your stuff. So that's the one thing I wanted to point out there. So
that's nice.
I think this is going to make everybody's life a lot easier. And I know it's going to make mine. I was excited. And so a lot of work to make it this simple, if that makes sense. And I hope everybody enjoys that.
Yeah, here's a little challenge for you folks, if you're up for it, is go to the Avatar Wizard, get a testimonial, and write a avatar hero's journey around that testimonial. So
the way that I would do that, just you're saying that inside of Jim Edwards Method Premium, I would use the avatar hero's journey.
Yep.
And so load, that would be, oh, let me show you this. Here's the load avatar button is here now, instead of just being at the top, like here, like an orphan child. If you click load avatar and we load that, and then see, it'll show you, oh wait, dude, you gotta like fill this thing out. Oh, I forgot, I only filled out part of it. So that's what I mean. But we click build and here it is. So yeah, just play around with it. Let me tell you a quick story, blah 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 blah. I think there's definitely, or at least this will give you some examples of how to do this, or some thoughts on how to structure this to tie in your buddy. I'm not seeing exactly how I would do it that way, but between the avatar's hero's journey, and your testimonial, you should be able to cobble together something cool, especially if you look at what we talked about with this framework that we distilled from what Stu did and my 25 years of experience. Between Stu and me, we got like 50 years of experience doing this, which is scary. But if you use this, man, I think you got something there, as my buddy Dexter says. So that's cool on that menu though, right?
Yes. Yeah. And that's cool too, what you got behind you. That's impressive.
So yeah.
Take a screenshot of that, folks, because that's
all for $1. So all right, cool. So let's do hey, let me ask you a question. Just I'm making physical changes and stuff.
Okay.
You don't hear Mr. Pickles' voice, do you?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I just couldn't hear it when you had it on the screen. I could hear your voice. I couldn't hear Pickles' voice.
Yeah, something's funky with StreamYard as opposed to Zoom, but anyway, okay.
Okie dokie. Maybe. Not gonna do it. I'm gonna hurt myself if I start messing with stuff. All right. Shall we? Let's do the podcast, and we have to be done at the top of the hour. So we got 17 minutes to do this.
It shouldn't take long. We've already kind of discussed a little bit of it already. So
you don't hear the pickle. You don't hear the pickle right now, right?
I do not.
I'm me. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, Jim Edwards here, along with Stu Smith.
Hello.
Welcome to the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks podcast. This is episode 139. We're feeling fine at 139. So, what are we talking about today, Stu?
Well, we are talking about content marketing, and consistency is the key to content marketing. Okay, obviously. And in fact, we just discussed it over at the Jim and Stu show, a clever idea to create some content marketing, wrapping a testimonial into variety of ways to distribute that, from your blogs to your newsletters to social media posts and etc. But anyway, here's the gist of what we're trying to do. Try to discuss some clever ways to reach your customer base daily with useful content, deals, and information about your offerings. Staying relevant is in this huge world of social media, email, and classic methods of marketing is a challenge. So you should have three options to go to every day for content marketing. What are your favorites? Question mark to the world.
Okay, so are we asking the people who are here with us live, or?
Yeah, I mean, you, me, people sharing. Yes, I think that would be a good way to kind of group source some clever ways to reach your customer base. We can even come up with a top 10 list out of this deal.
Yeah, I think we need to divide it up into, I can't spell it, but message versus channel. So, and maybe mode. Okay, so the biggest thing that I think happens is people get locked into one thing. It's like, I do Facebook Live. I've been doing Facebook. I just do Facebook. I go live every day and no one pays attention. Yeah, because you go live every day in the same spot, with the same background, with the same Mr. Rogers sweater on, and everybody thinks they've already seen that video before. And then you also intro your videos all the same way. I learned that lesson with the Letting the Chickens Out with Jim. It's like, hey, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Letting the Chickens Out with Jim. Today, we're going to talk about this, which the problem is that I'm wearing the same hoodie going out to let the chickens out. They're like, oh, I saw that video yesterday. No. That's today's video. Well, I saw that yesterday. And then if they want to go back, they all sound the same at the beginning. So you got to start with the hook. That's just an example of,
great idea.
Mixing it up. So you got message, you got channel, you got mode. So when we talk about channel, you got all these different choices. You got Facebook, which is proven. We got Instagram, we got LinkedIn, we got your blog. We've got third-party sites like Medium. We got all the creepers over on Twitter, which I just think Twitter is like a mosh pit of stupidity.
You know what I do for Twitter? You know what I do for Twitter? I just
nothing.
No, I actually use Twitter. It's okay. But if I write an article primarily for military.com, I'll post it on my Twitter. It tags them, and sometimes military.com will share it as well.
That's smart.
Yeah, so it's just an idea.
So Stu's using TikTok now. I want to free up some time so I could just be like the
Hey everybody, it's the Smart Ass Pickle Show. I'm gonna talk dirty for 30 seconds and everybody will love it.
Yeah, on TikTok you get 3 minutes.
There you go.
You get 3 minutes on TikTok.
Where else could you post? All right, you got your third-party sites. I mean, these are the big. Okay, we got Pinterest,
newsletter.
We'll call Pinterest, Twitter, blog. Okay, your newsletter. What else? I mean, you got all kinds of different. I mean, those are pretty much it.
Yeah. As far
you know
as
what
channels,
I mean?
That's YouTube.
Okay, so
Forgot YouTube.
Oh, yeah, YouTube. Duh. That looks like 4T. 4F, 4T. There, YouTube. What else? What else am I missing that's obvious? Blog, Facebook. Okay, so here we go. So now the message could be, this is where you've got all kinds of different stuff. All right. You can do a tip. You can do an opinion. You can do a review, like, hey, this is kind of cool. You can do
Critique.
Yeah, you do a ton of those.
Yep.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Tip, opinion, review, critique. You can do a list. You can do a rant. You can do a secret, which secret and tip kind of go together, but secrets can be on their own. But it's basically you're giving info, an opinion, you're reviewing something, or critique. Oh, you can curate something else. Okay. So now, all right, now we got a mode over here. Now the mode is going to be text, could be video, could be a graphic, and we'll caveat live video. Okay, and under video could be your video or somebody else's video. Also, you have under there screen cap demo. So we'll just call, and that's another thing you can do is do a demo.
Would pictures count as graphic?
Yeah, graphic / pic.
Yep.
Well, no, okay, no, we're gonna do those separately because a graphic could be like a meme or something like that.
Right.
And a picture could be something else. Okay, so now most people who are like Sean's here, Sean Larry. Hey, Paul, have you ever seen Sean's fishing videos, Stu?
No.
You have to see Sean fishing. He is funny as hell, and he is a great fisherman. I love him and I hate him at the same time because he always catches fish. I've caught like 3 fish. I live on the water, spend all this money to build a house on the water, build that dock. I've caught 3 fish, and the biggest one I caught was by friggin' accident. Okay, this dude is like the fish whisperer, but the way he narrates the videos and the patter that he uses of just down home country. I'm on the lumber river, Paul. Yeah,
I love it.
Get us some fish today, Paul. It's the best.
I'll check it out.
The video where he was cooking fish on the bank and it's just Sean likes to fool everybody to think that he's just some country dude that's fishing. He's brilliant.
What's his channel? Does he do it on? Like just social media?
He does it on Facebook. I don't even.
Okay.
It's just Sean Larry. He's commenting in the thing. You can.
Yeah, I see him.
Everybody needs to watch Sean's videos because it's hilarious. So here's what I want y'all to understand is that most people, they do like one thing, like, oh, I go live. Okay. Well, I want you to think about something here. Going live gets old. It just gets old. And variety is the spice of life. But look at this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 different messages here, and there's more. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different channels that you could do. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different modes. Okay. What's 9 times 10 times 6? It's 540 for anybody who cares. Okay. 540 different combinations to keep things fresh for your content marketing, keeping it fresh, but also keeping it consistent.
Nice.
So when you don't, and there's, we didn't even, you got the testimonial visit, it's just, That's the biggest thing, is if you want to keep it consistent, you want to be consistent in delivering content and delivering value, in delivering a marketing message every single day. And you want to be consistent in the way that you create every single one of these pieces of content should follow this formula. Guess what it is? Hook, because if you don't hook them, they're not going to read it. Content, which is your story, okay? And then offer, which is with a call to action. So it's hook, content, call to action. So this never changes.
Right.
And you'll know when you forgot one of those because your results will suck. But this, you want to mix it up so that people, oh man, let me see what's what. Like this morning, I didn't have time to do some content, so I posted a picture of canned unicorn meat that says, Terry Clay and I will be enjoying this next Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, what will you be having? I mean, just something stupid to go out there because, you got core content and pointer content, which we'd talk about another time. But come on. That's why your content marketing isn't working, because you're doing the same dang thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. And here's the other thing, we could factor in one other thing into this if you care to, is if you, no, I'm not even going to worry about it. Something else we could talk about, if you factor in repurposing and you factor in timing throughout the day, you can take that 540 and put it up into the 50,000 range. Now people will be like, hey, I love that thing you did. Oh yeah, cool. We'll check out the other, follow me for other great baking tips, whatever. So
yeah, one piece of content.
Answered.
Yeah, absolutely. One piece of content repurposed half a dozen ways every day.
Absolutely.
Easy.
Yeah.
Love it.
So anyway, I hope that answered your question, but didn't I answer some question with that?
Just a little bit. You kind of answered it.
All right.
That was ridiculous. That's huge.
Yeah, that's a
I
big
love
deal.
that board now. You just go off.
Yeah. Well, boys and their toys.
Yeah.
All right. So that's all I got. Bring us home, Stu. Bring it all home. Bring it all home.
All right. So I would say that would be, if you can't get any clever ways out of what you see on that board up there, take a screenshot of it and start thinking of clever ways to do it. And
here, I'll make it even easier.
Yeah, it's a content marketing is just that. How much time you want to put into it, but you can save a lot of time as well by repurposing that same content, multiple different modes. So that's a wealth of information there. So
All
yeah,
right.
my go-to would be my top 3. Let's do that. Name your top 3.
Your top 3.
My go-to is a cool picture.
Oh, here, let me give. I'll give you. Okay, hang on. I'm going to give you your own color here. You can be this funky purple. So, what is your favorite?
My first go-to is a cool picture with on Instagram with a nice little explanation of what we're doing or piece of motivation.
Okay, so that would be tip, review,
kind of a tip in there, yeah.
Or secret or tip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My second one would be a critique of a submitted video of someone swimming or doing a particular exercises that they're having trouble with. So that could be also shared on Instagram or YouTube, or I'm doing it a lot on TikTok now. In fact, all my TikTok is nothing but combat swimmer stroke critique videos. Main reason
so
I
you're
did
doing that on
yeah,
Instagram, YouTube, and
TikTok.
you don't do it on Facebook. Sure.
Yeah, it gets on my Facebook page, my Stu Smith Fitness Facebook page,
Okay.
business Facebook. So yeah, it all gets shared that way. And then my third would be what?
I just hope somebody took a screenshot of that because I was now I got all this crazy stuff on here, but okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
My
Go ahead.
third would be article format, multiple different topics of
Ooh.
articles.
So that's funny. We didn't put article on here.
Yeah.
We'll call this traditional article.
Yeah.
We'll call this traditional article.
Obviously, the article has the hook content offer in it.
Sure.
Of some
Okay,
sort.
so this changes to a 10.
Yeah, so now you're at 600.
Yep. Okay. So traditional article.
Yeah, traditional article goes on the blog, goes on all social media, well, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And usually there is a video in there or some cool graphic as well. And picture.
Nice.
And then at the end of the week, it all gets consolidated and put into a newsletter.
Holy crap, Stu.
So that is content marketing for me.
But yet, I want to point something out to everybody as we're doing this. All right. You're basically only creating 3 pieces of content.
Yeah.
That's the thing you need to get across is that all this finger painting by a 5-year-old hopped up on Pixie Stick comes from 3 basic core pieces of content. Everything comes from that. Think about that. All right. That's a big deal. That's something, you're like, oh, it does all this stuff. I don't have time and blah, 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 blah. No, it's coming from 3 core pieces of content. That's what you need to understand. Yeah. Somebody asked a real quick question, then we got to go. Are the critique videos sent from the user or do you find them?
No, they are submitted to me because on all of my book and ebook pages, I say you get a free swimming critique with every purchase.
Right.
So
cool.
People submit them like
crazy. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Great work, Stu. Wonderful. And we'll look forward to seeing you all next time on the Jim and Stu Show and the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks podcast. Everybody have a great day and we'll talk to you soon.